So now that Tennocon is over and we're getting back to normal, can I just say that some of the small references and pieces or bits and pieces that were picked up from the new war showcase from that 13 minutes of the quest by the community are so bloody good to see. Like, of course, the dead rhino that Cal picks the Corinth Prime up off and then rolls his big iron ass out of the way while going on a Doom-style rampage with it was pretty bloody awesome, proving that some Grineer Special Forces are actually badass. Or some of the one-liners that Cal put out, I think one of them was "Cal sneak so good."
Cal sneak good.
Or Ordis telling Teshin to swing away, which is apparently a quote from the movie Signs by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong with the with the aliens. Then there was the reference from Metal Gear Rising, I believe, which is Teshin mimicking the assassination on the Sentient, which is also awesome to see. But I'm sure there's going to be lots more that may show up over the next few weeks or so, or even when we fully get to play the actual quest. And let's not forget the moment where Cal says "for my brothers" and sits on the ground. So many F's in the chat to commemorate Cal, right? But then Era showed up before the explosive blew up and told Cal not to be afraid. So I know we're all having a cheer for Cal right now, and there's a big love-in with him in the community, and everyone thinks he's badass as all hell, but is it going to stay like that? What if he becomes some kind of sentient hybrid mini-boss for Era? Are you still going to have that same emotional attachment to him? Because we spoke about this on my stream recently where myself and a few of the other long-term partners with Warframe were speaking and talking about how there isn't actually any character in the game that I feel emotionally invested to, and the cutscene during the 30-minute showcase at Tennocon was probably the first time where I seen a character and I literally felt a bit of an emotional attachment towards Cal and towards the fact that he was willing to sacrifice himself, you know? So that was kind of cool. But are you going to have the same emotional attachment to that character if that character becomes evil, if that character becomes a mini-boss that we have to fight? Or are you going to be just standing back, oh yeah, fuck it, give me the gun, yeah, Cal, yeah, where he is, point me towards him, yeah, I'm definitely going to shoot him, I don't care, just give me something to shoot at. Let me know in the comment section below. It will be interesting though as well if the small Ostron kid that Era also said not to be afraid, if that will also become some kind of mini-boss for us to fight along the way in the quest as well. But there was a few other things to pick up from throughout Tennocon, like this image of one of the up-and-coming enemies. Now, if you look at the body of this enemy more closely, it looks like a possible primed Warframe after it was impaled by one of those big snake-like looking Vonvalists, because they have that sentient Vonvalist kind of face with a giant crystal. Looks like it's wedged through the Warframe's head. But what primed frame is this? Does it look like, or it doesn't look like any of our current primed frames? Is it a future Protea or Wisp Prime, or is it just a random frame that they drew for reference? Gonna be honest here, not a fan of the snake-like enemies. It gives me the absolute shivers. Definitely going to enjoy killing these fuckers. Then, of course, there is the evolved art or evolved drawing of Ballas. That image we're seeing during the art panel. And, of course, the weapon that he is wielding, whether it's a staff or a bow, I can't rightly remember. But if you take another look at one of the other new enemy types we've seen during the same art stream, you will see that there is a striking resemblance between it and of course the evolved Ballas. So maybe these are his defenders or acolytes of sorts, or maybe they're enemy types that are going to be around the same tile set that Ballas is going to be on as well. Same weird looking weapon, same weird looking pointy hat as well. And then we have Caliban, our newest Warframe. It has a name, right? I didn't mention that name in the last video. It is a sentient themed Warframe whose passive has the ability to reset incoming damage types for himself, but also for teammates as well. So it is a squad-wide damage reduction, which does sound pretty bloody nice. It will of course be the 48th Warframe to be released into the game. So we're almost at the 50 mark. Then there is I guess the discussion right now that is pretty fucking rampant within the community about Conclave. I know, I know, I've lost some of you already. Fuck it, I'm out, he's talking about Conclave, I don't care. Right, end video, right? Now, all joking aside, now that they've shown us that we have the ability or the possibility to play as a non-Warframe character, it does open up the door to a lot of different possibilities of which direction they could go with this, for opening up the world that we play in for Warframe, the universe, for future quests, definitely, but also it could be the evolution of Conclave that breeds fresh life into that game mode, because let's be real, it has got a very dedicated, right, a very dedicated small player base, and the ones who do play it don't want you to fecking touch it. Leave our Conclave alone, right? What what was that? But having some kind of Corpus versus Grineer Conclave would be a laugh. I think it would be hilarious. Slow it down a little bit. No bullet jumping, just gunplay at the core element to it, as well as the different Corpus and Grineer characters. Or even, hear me out, right? They could go one further. They won't, okay, they won't. So don't worry, Warframe's not all of a sudden going to change to a PvP game. That's never going to be the case. This is just a what-if scenario. But they have the makings of a universe full of characters that you could have at the core element of your shooter. Imagine a Conclave or a PvP-styled match within Warframe where you get to play as some of the major characters in-game. Like Hal, like Veso that they showed off during Tennocon as well, or Teshin, Ergo Glast, Clem, Era, Lotus, Ballas, Darvo, and so many more. Non-high-powered Warframe type heroes, all with their own weapons or ability setups while you're playing different types of PvP games. I mean, Digital Extremes did work on Unreal Tournament, so they could definitely do it, and it would be fun to see. Again, can't see it happening. It would be fun having an all-out deathmatch between all of these characters, just constantly killing each other over and over again while trying to get to an objective, however. And it would be nice as a side thing, just not like previous side things like Frame Fight or Flappy Zephyr, Lunaro. You get the idea, right? If it was done right. But again, it's not going to be. And it is nice having this type of discussion, but Warframe at its core element is PvE and not PvP. But that would be one way that they could touch up the PvP in the game, right? You have to admit that much. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of Conclave, or what you think of the idea of using other characters, I guess, to show off the emotional side to other factions within Warframe by running different quests, like having Khal, like having Veso, like having Teshin to run around with. What other type of characters could we run around on? Who knows? Maybe we'll get to play as Konzu as he runs out onto the plains of Eidolon just in time for the Unim Tower to come crashing down on him and he has his last supper. Who knows? But as always, thanks for watching.